What if a simple feather could create financial safety in just 24 hours? At first, it might sound symbolic, maybe even strange. After all, how could something so delicate, so ordinary, hold any real power over your financial life? But throughout history, feathers have been more than just pieces of nature. They've been seen as sacred signs, messages of protection, and symbols of divine guidance. In many cultures, finding a feather meant you were being watched over, that unseen forces were working in your favor, that you were safe. And in the middle of a busy, uncertain life, safety is exactly what most people crave when it comes to money. Pay attention. That's why I have a simple invitation for you right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to receive every practice and teaching on abundance. Like this video and share it with someone who also needs to connect with the frequency of prosperity. And write in the comments, I choose abundance now. Think about it. Financial stress almost always comes down to fear. Fear of the unexpected. Fear of not being able to handle an emergency. Fear that one surprise, a broken car, a medical bill, a lost job, will throw everything into chaos. That fear keeps people awake at night. It creates tension in relationships. It drains joy from everyday moments. And yet, the solution is often much simpler than people realize. It starts with shifting your energy, and it continues with taking one small practical step toward security. That's where the feather comes in. Imagine you pick up a white feather or place one on your desk, your nightstand, or near your wallet. Each time you see it, it becomes a gentle reminder. I am safe, I am supported, I am protected. It shifts your energy from worry to calm, from fear to trust. You begin to carry yourself differently, not as someone always bracing for disaster, but as someone who knows that life supports them. That's the mystical side. The feather becomes a symbol that anchors you into peace. But peace alone is not enough. For true freedom, peace must be paired with preparation. That's where the smart financial move comes in, building an emergency fund. Even a small reserve of money creates a shield between you and life's surprises. It doesn't have to be huge at the start. Research shows that even $500 to $1,000 set aside dramatically reduces financial stress. It creates breathing room. It turns emergencies into inconveniences instead of disasters. That is real security. So what happens when you bring these two together, the feather and the fund? You align the mystical with the practical. The feather reminds your spirit that you're safe. The emergency fund proves to your mind and your reality that you're prepared. Together, they create a powerful loop. The more secure you feel, the easier it is to save. The more you save, the more secure you feel. Peace fuels action, and action fuels peace. This is the promise hidden in the feather, that safety and prosperity are not opposites, but partners. That true abundance doesn't come only from chasing more, but from feeling safe with what you already have and protecting your future. A feather may seem light and fragile, but as a symbol, it carries the weight of transformation. And when you use it as a reminder to build your financial shield, you unlock peace today and prosperity tomorrow. Symbols carry power because they speak directly to the part of us that lives beyond logic. A feather, light and fragile, can remind us of protection, of unseen guidance, of safety. And while that symbol brings peace to the heart, the true promise of abundance is unlocked when you connect it to a tangible act, building an emergency fund. Together, they form a bridge between the mystical and the practical, showing you that wealth isn't just about chasing more. It's about creating a foundation of safety that allows prosperity to flow freely. Here's the promise. Symbols unlock peace. A reserve fund unlocks true abundance. When you place a white feather near your wallet, on your desk, or in your journal, you are surrounding yourself with a daily reminder that you are safe, that you are guided, and that you are not walking this journey alone. It shifts your inner dialogue from fear to trust, from scarcity to reassurance. And when you feel safe, you make different choices, calmer choices, wiser choices. But peace of mind is incomplete if the external reality doesn't match. That's why the emergency fund becomes so powerful. A feather may calm your spirit, but money set aside for the unexpected calms your entire life. With just $500 to $1,000 saved, you immediately gain the ability to face life's surprises without panic. A car repair becomes manageable. A medical bill no longer destroys your budget. Even something as small as replacing a broken phone feels less like a crisis and more like an inconvenience. That shift from crisis to inconvenience is the foundation of abundance. Because here's the truth. Abundance isn't only about wealth pouring in. Abundance is about stability, trust, and freedom. It's about knowing you are safe no matter what. When your nervous system feels secure, you stop making desperate financial decisions. You no longer reach for credit cards and panic, no longer borrow from tomorrow just to survive today. Instead, you stand on solid ground. And from that place, you can build more investing, creating, and expanding. The feather reminds you that you're protected. The fund proves it. Together, they reshape your relationship with money. You stop seeing money as something that disappears too quickly, and you start seeing it as a partner that creates safety. You begin to act with confidence, not fear. You stop chasing prosperity from a place of desperation and begin attracting it from a place of peace. That is the promise of the white feather ritual paired with the emergency fund hack, that you don't have to live waiting for disaster or fearing the next surprise. You can live in safety now, in peace now, while still building for tomorrow. Symbols bring reassurance, and strategy brings results. When you join the two, you unlock the kind of abundance that is steady, secure, and lasting. Stories are where abstract ideas come alive. And perhaps the best way to understand the power of the white feather ritual paired with the emergency fund hack is through the story of Liam. For years, Liam lived with constant financial stress. He wasn't reckless. He worked hard, paid his bills, and tried his best. But life always seemed to throw surprises his way. A flat tire, a dental bill, a sudden increase in rent. Each one felt like an earthquake shaking his fragile stability. With no cushion, every emergency pushed him deeper into credit card debt. And each time, the weight of that debt grew heavier. He carried the unspoken fear that one unexpected moment could shatter everything. Then something curious happened. On his morning walks, Liam started noticing white feathers. At first, he ignored them, thinking they were just coincidences fallen from a bird, blown by the wind. But they kept appearing, sometimes in the most unexpected places, on his doorstep, at the entrance of his office, even inside a parking garage. After a while, he began to see them differently, not as random, but as reminders. Every feather whispered, "You are safe. You are guided." Instead of brushing them aside, he decided to honor the symbol. He picked up one feather, placed it on his nightstand, and told himself, "This is my reminder that I am protected." Each time he saw it, he felt a little lighter. And from that sense of peace came a new idea. If I am protected, then I can also prepare. That's when he discovered the concept of a starter emergency fund. At first, the idea of saving felt impossible. He thought he didn't have extra money to put aside. But he started small, just $20 a week. Sometimes it was less, sometimes more. Each deposit, no matter how small, became part of a new ritual. He would glance at the feather and say, "I am safe with money," and then transfer a few dollars into his savings account. 6 months passed, and Liam was shocked to see the balance. $1,000. It wasn't millions, but it was a foundation. And that foundation changed everything. The next time his car broke down, he didn't panic. He paid the bill from his fund, and instead of sinking deeper into debt, he felt a wave of relief. For the first time in years, an emergency didn't feel like a crisis. It felt like proof that he was safe. Liam's story is a reminder that transformation doesn't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes it begins with a symbol, a white feather on the ground. Sometimes it begins with a tiny action saving a few dollars. Over time, those symbols and actions compound, creating both inner peace and outer security. Today, Liam still collects feathers. Each one reminds him of how far he has come. But the real change is not in the feathers themselves. It's in the man who now believes in his own safety and who built a financial shield to match it. One of the most powerful yet overlooked steps in building true financial freedom is creating an emergency fund. Many people believe abundance means constantly growing, earning, and expanding. But without a foundation of safety, even the highest income can feel fragile. That's why the first real step toward lasting prosperity is not investing in the stock market, buying property, or chasing quick returns. It's creating a simple reserve of cash that protects you from life's inevitable surprises. Here's the practical truth. Start with a small emergency fund of $500 to $1,000. This might not sound like much, but research shows it's a game changer. Studies from financial institutions reveal that households with even a modest emergency fund report significantly lower stress, fewer instances of falling into debt, and greater confidence in handling unexpected expenses. That cushion becomes your shield. Think about the moments when life has surprised you. Maybe it was a medical bill. Maybe your car broke down. Maybe an appliance stopped working at the worst possible time. Without savings, those moments force you into credit card debt, loans, or desperation. But with even $500 to $1,000 in a separate savings account, those same events become manageable. What was once a crisis is reduced to an inconvenience. And that difference between crisis and inconvenience is the foundation of peace. The key here is separation. Don't keep your emergency money mixed into your checking account where it can be accidentally spent. Open a dedicated savings account, preferably one that you don't touch unless it's truly an emergency. This creates both a psychological and financial boundary. You know the money is there, and you know it's for safety. Now, how do you build it? Start small. Even $5, $10, or $20 set aside consistently will add up. Pair the act of saving with the feather ritual. Each time you see your feather, let it remind you to make a deposit no matter how small. This transforms saving from a chore into a sacred act. Every deposit says to yourself, I am safe, I am protected. I am building peace. Over weeks and months, those small deposits grow into a powerful shield. Once your starter fund is in place, you'll notice something shift. Your stress decreases. Your confidence increases. You feel safer making long-term financial decisions because you're no longer afraid of being knocked off balance by the unexpected. From this base of safety, you can then focus on paying down debt, investing, or growing wealth. But without it, every step forward risks being undone by a single surprise. So here's your financial tip. Don't wait until you have enough to start saving. Begin today. Save a little, protect a lot. Your feather may symbolize safety, but your emergency fund proves it. Together, they give you both the inner and outer security to build true abundance. The white feather has always carried deep symbolism across cultures. To some, it represents angelic presence, a sign from the unseen world that you are watched over, guided, and protected. To others, it is a symbol of purity, lightness, and trust, a reminder that even in moments of heaviness, there is grace supporting you. Mystically, when you encounter a feather, it is as though the universe is whispering, "You are safe. Keep moving forward." But let's look at the science as well. Safety is not just a feeling, it is also a measurable state. Psychologists have found that when people feel financially insecure, when they don't have savings to protect against emergencies, their stress levels spike dramatically. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods the body, making it harder to think clearly, solve problems, or make wise decisions. In fact, studies show that financial stress reduces cognitive capacity, which is why people in debt often feel stuck in a cycle of poor choices. The mind cannot plan for tomorrow when it is consumed with surviving today. Now consider what happens when you have even a small emergency fund. Suddenly, your nervous system relaxes. That car repair, that medical bill, that broken appliance no longer threatens your stability. Your body knows you have a buffer. Stress decreases, clarity increases, and your decisions improve. Saving money doesn't just change your bank balance, it changes your brain chemistry. You move from fight or flight into calm and control. This is where the mystical and scientific meet. The feather gives you a symbol of protection, something you can touch, see, and connect with on a spiritual level. Each time you look at it, you feel reassured. You are not alone, you are safe, you are guided. That emotional state creates the inner peace you need to make consistent, empowered financial decisions. Then, the emergency fund provides the scientific, practical proof of that safety. It is your shield in numbers, your protection in dollars, your tangible evidence that you are prepared. The two reinforce each other. The mystical side, the feather, reminds you to stay calm, grateful, and trusting. The scientific side, the savings, creates real-world stability that validates that calm. Without the symbol, saving can feel like a cold, joyless task. Without the savings, the symbol might feel like empty hope. Together, they create alignment, belief and action moving in harmony. Think of it as rewiring both your spirit and your brain. Mystically, you train yourself to live in gratitude and protection. Scientifically, you train your finances to absorb shocks without breaking. Each time you deposit money into your emergency fund, you are reinforcing both truths. I am safe in energy, and I am safe in reality. This is why abundance isn't just about wealth pouring in. It's about safety first. The feather represents the unseen promise of protection. The savings represent the practical proof. When both are present, your energy and your finances rise together, creating a foundation strong enough for prosperity to flourish. Rituals are most powerful when they unite the unseen with the practical, when they give you both the energy and the action to change your life. The white feather ritual, paired with the emergency fund hack, is designed to do exactly that. It takes a sacred symbol of protection and anchors it into your financial reality. Here's how to perform it step by step. Step 1. Choose your feather. Find or select a feather to serve as your symbol. It might be one you discover outdoors, a gift from someone, or even a decorative feather you choose intentionally. The important thing is that this feather becomes meaningful to you. Treat it not as an object, but as a reminder, a physical anchor for safety and guidance. Step 2. Place it near your money. Position your feather somewhere connected to your finances. This could be near your wallet, inside a money box, on your desk where you pay bills, or even in your journal where you track expenses. The goal is to create a visual cue each time you see the feather. You're reminded of your protection and your commitment to financial safety. Step 3. Affirm your safety. Each day, take a brief moment to touch or look at your feather and speak the affirmation. I am safe with money. Don't just repeat it mechanically, feel the truth of it. Imagine that the feather is a shield around your finances, protecting you from fear, panic, and scarcity. This small act retrains your subconscious to associate money not with stress, but with safety. Step 4. Begin your emergency fund. Immediately after affirming, take one tangible financial step. Deposit money, no matter how small, into a separate savings account dedicated solely to emergencies. It could be $5, $10, or $20. The amount matters less than the consistency. Each deposit is both a financial action and a spiritual offering, saying, I protect myself. I prepare for my future. Step 5. Visualize protection. Close your eyes and imagine the feather glowing with light. See that light wrapping around your savings account, multiplying every dollar you've set aside. Picture yourself facing a future emergency with calm confidence, knowing your reserve is there. Visualization turns belief into expectation, and expectation shapes reality. Step 6. Track your growth. Keep a simple record of your deposits, even if they are small. Watching the numbers rise, little by little, reinforces the ritual. It shows you that the feather isn't just symbolic, it is inspiring real change in your financial world. Each line on your tracker is a feather turning into wings that lift you higher. Step 7. Repeat daily. The true power of this ritual comes from repetition. Just as a feather floats effortlessly through the air, your financial safety will grow effortlessly when nurtured with consistency. Over weeks and months, both your emergency fund and your sense of peace will expand. This ritual is not about superstition, it's about alignment. The feather protects your spirit. The fund protects your life. Together, they transform fear into safety and safety into prosperity. Every ritual needs a seal words that transform the practice from something symbolic into something embodied. For the white feather ritual, that seal is a simple yet deeply powerful affirmation. My safety attracts prosperity. At first, it may feel like just a sentence, but hidden within these 5 words is a code that reshapes the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act around money. Let's break it down and uncover why repeating this phrase daily has the power to shift both your energy and your financial reality. The first word, my, is personal. It declares ownership. You are not borrowing safety from someone else. You are not waiting for the economy, the government, or luck to make you feel secure. It is your safety, generated from your choices, your rituals, your savings. It grounds you in responsibility and empowerment. The second word, safety, is the foundation. In the past, you may have associated money with stress, instability, or even danger. By declaring safety, you rewrite the story. Safety with money means you no longer live in fear of emergencies because you know you have prepared. It means your nervous system can relax, freeing up energy for creativity, love, and growth. Safety is not the absence of risk, it is the presence of resilience. The third word, attracts, is magnetic. It reminds you that abundance is not something you must chase in exhaustion, but something that naturally flows toward you when the right conditions are present. Just as a magnet doesn't force, but draws things effortlessly, so too does your safety invite prosperity into your life. The more secure you feel, the more open you become to opportunities, and the more those opportunities begin to appear. The fourth word, prosperity, is the expansion. Prosperity is more than money. It is well-being, peace, joy, and freedom. By using this word, you declare that what you are attracting is not just survival, but flourishing. Your emergency fund may begin as a shield against setbacks, but in truth, it becomes a platform for growth, investments, and dreams. Prosperity is abundance multiplied by peace. When you speak the phrase as a whole, my safety attracts prosperity, you are aligning both the mystical and the practical. The feather symbolizes safety on a spiritual level. The emergency fund creates safety on a financial level. And the words of the activation phrase bind them together, sealing the ritual with intention and power. Here's how to use it. Each morning, look at your feather, place your hand over your heart, and repeat the phrase 3 times. Say it once softly, as a whisper to your subconscious. Say it again with calm strength, as if reassuring your present self. And finally, say it with conviction, as if announcing it to the universe. Feel the energy shift in your body each time you repeat it. Over time, these words stop being something you say and start being something you live. You begin to embody the truth that safety is not the opposite of prosperity. It is the very soil from which prosperity grows. The phrase becomes a mantra, a code, and ultimately an identity. So tomorrow, when you see your feather, don't just glance at it, activate it, speak it, seal it. Let your voice declare with certainty, my safety attracts prosperity. Now it's your turn. You've discovered the meaning of the feather, the promise of safety, and the strategy of the emergency fund. You've seen how something so simple, a symbol you can hold in your hand, can connect with something so practical, like money set aside for protection. But none of this becomes real until you take action. Transformation is not just about listening. It begins the moment you declare, the moment you decide, the moment you participate. Debt, financial stress, and fear thrive in silence. They grow stronger when you keep your worries to yourself, when you hide from the mirror, when you wait for the perfect time to start. But freedom begins in declaration. It begins when you speak, when you type, when you share your intention with the world. That's why your next step is so important. Right now in the comments, I want you to write these words of power. I am safe and prosperous. Don't just think them. Don't just whisper them quietly. Type them boldly. When you write it, you are doing more than posting a comment. You are making a public declaration. You are turning a private hope into a visible choice. You are joining your energy with hundreds, maybe thousands of others who are declaring the same truth alongside you. Imagine the power of that collective vibration, each person reinforcing not only their own safety, but amplifying yours as well. And this isn't just about words, it's about community. When you comment, you will see others doing the same. Each "I am safe and prosperous" becomes a feather in the wind, a symbol that you are not alone. Together, we form a circle of protection and intention, reminding one another that safety is possible, that prosperity is near, and that peace is within reach. But the action doesn't stop there. After you comment, I invite you to take one small step toward your emergency fund today. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, or $50. What matters is the act. Open a separate account. Transfer something into it. Pair your declaration with a deposit, and you'll feel the shift immediately. The feather gives you the symbol, but your choice gives you the proof. Finally, if you felt the power of this ritual and want to continue on this journey, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Every video here is designed to help you align your energy and your finances, to create not just abundance, but lasting peace. And when you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're joining a movement of people rising into safety, prosperity, and freedom together. So here is your moment. Comment below. I am safe and prosperous. Let the world, the universe, and your own heart hear it. Let this be the day you stop waiting for protection and start living in it. Your feather is the symbol. Your fund is the strategy. And your declaration is the spark that brings it all to life.